Hello friends, now this is the 17th lecture. Today I would like to familiarize you with, and me also, with some of the key terms used in feminism. The first one is androgyny. Androgyny. Now as you can see, andro and gyno, that means man, woman. So the term or the idea behind this, there is a combination of gender roles in where you find neither masculine nor feminine is dominant. Neither masculinity is dominant nor femininity is dominant. So a world you will find in which sex roles are not rigidly defined. So man is, there is a man in every woman and there is a woman in every man. So there is an integration of both, where you can see man can express the qualities of a woman, woman can express the qualities of a man, and thus blurring the distinction between sexes. So this is androgyny means. So a man can take up jobs that a woman usually takes up, and woman can take up jobs that men or function as what men do. So that is the idea behind this. Now second is backlash. Backlash. Now this is the title of a book by Susan Faludi. Susan Faludi, an American feminist. And backlash, the full title of this book is The Undeclared War Against American Women. Backlash, the undeclared war against American women. Now this is actually from 1980s onwards, there is a kind of very strange type of behavior among men. Those men whose wives and mothers and sisters go out for work. And these men, that means the men whose, or the husbands you can say, whose wives, whose sisters, whose mothers, they are out for work. They go and earn money. They are not only bread makers, but also they are bread winners. But such men, they go around saying that, or propagating the idea that women should not go out for work. The public place is not for them. They should sit at home and they should do the works that they are supposed to do according to their gender roles at home. So this kind of contradiction. So this is what she criticizes. The new, it says that negative stereotypes, that's the word that she is using. So it says, she is declared a war against feminism, especially due to the negative stereotypes against career-minded women. Negative stereotypes means these people can send their wives and sisters and mothers outside. But the same people, the very same people say that, oh, career-minded women, that's not good, they should not go out for work and so on. So therefore, it's a kind of undeclared war against such people, and that's why we call it backlash. So Susan Faludi, she has, from 1918 onwards, this problem, 1980s onwards, there is a movement away from and against feminism. So what Faludi is attacking is this, the feminism that goes away from, the movement that goes away from and against feminism. I hope you understand that point. Now third is a creature feminine. A creature feminine. That is French, a creature feminine, that is French. That means women's writings, simply. That is French expression, a French phrase, women's writings. It is a philosophy actually, we can say, that promotes women's experiences and feelings. Women should write for herself, feelings, strengthen their love. See, the originator of this idea is Helen Sissox. We have already come across her name, Helen Sissox. Helen Sissox. These words, I mean, these are French names, so not Sixos, Sixos. Helen Sixos. So she first uses this in her essay, The Laugh of the Medusa. The Laugh of the Medusa. This is her essay. She uses this for the first time, écriture feminine, means feminine writing. So feminine experiences of women should be given importance in writing, her feelings, and also strengthen their work. The Laugh of Medusa, she says, woman must write for self, that means herself, must write about women and bring women to writing. So there are 3 steps. You should write about yourself, and then you should write about women, and also bring other women to this path of writing. So what has happened is, from the tendency or the ability to write, the patriarchal discourses and attitudes of the society had already driven them away. Relentlessly they are driving them away from the field of writing. See, just as for example, from their bodies. Driving away from their bodies. Driving away from their bodies means, don't misunderstand that you have to throw away your bodies, but the repression of pleasure, sexual pleasure. That's what is meant by violently driving away from their bodies, the repression of sexual pleasure. So both driving away from the tendency, so the gift of writing, and also driving away from the say repression of sexual, from their bodies, that means sexual pleasure. So this is in the background of patriarchal discourse. Now, écriture féminine places experiences before language. Now that concept is very important. Without language you cannot write anything. But the sister and the people who support, women who support her, say that presently what is happening is, even language, no language is neutral. No, like the formalists say now. So no language is neutral. All languages are colored. All languages are, you find the domination of male feelings and male experiences. So the available language is patriarchal. It is meant for patriarchal writing. See? So therefore it says, patriarchal system has produced the language that we are using today. So don't give much importance to that. Instead, you should give importance to your experience. That means you can express your experience without giving importance to the standard ways of writing. That's the meaning. So a revolutionary way of writing you can adopt. That's the thing. So the supporters of this idea, means women writing, they say, you should write a style. Your writing should be in such a way that what you should do is, you should evade, as far as possible, evade phallocentric system of language which has been followed for centuries. Phallocentric, fallacy, no fallacy. So phallocentric system of language which has been fashioned for patriarchal writing and patriarchal discourse. So the language that is available today is phallocentric. So don't use that, because if you use that, what will happen? You will also someday slip into that. Therefore, what is important is not the language, language available is phallocentric. So don't try to limit your experiences and expressions by using phallocentric language. You should have your own way, your own idiom, your own way of expression. That is what is important, he says. Understand? So, and then next one is Fourth key term is essentialism. Essentialism. I hope you are following this. No? Essentialism. Essentialism says that there is a belief like that in a uniquely feminine essence. The belief in a uniquely feminine essence means irrespective of culture, irrespective of cultural conditions, irrespective of existing traditions and so on, people believe that there is something called certain essential qualities in a woman. Say like submissive, then tolerance, and a willingness to suffer, be subservient, a slave-like attitude, so forgiving everything. These are essential qualities of women. So once you accept this, once the society accepts this, what will happen is, it opens space for repression. See, you say, oh, after all, women, they can't work outside. They are weak sex. They are fair sex. Or they are people born to suffer. Or they are people to live under control always, whether daughter or wife or mother. Or they are very submissive people. If you have, or they are slave-like. If you have such an idea, it is firmly rooted in your mind, then naturally what will happen? Even a weak man will try to suppress the emotions of his wife or the sisters or daughters, see, or even mothers, that way you can say. And then it opens space for oppression and repression. Understand? So this essentialism is very dangerous. It is against essentialism that the radical feminism, that movement started. But later what happened, this radical feminism, it had two divisions, you can say. One is radical cultural feminism, the other is radical libertarian feminism. Radical libertarians, they say that the male oppression is caused by the ability of women to bear children. See that? Radical feminists, you can see. So radical libertarians, radical feminism itself, but then it is branched of two. You have got radical. Radical libertarians say that all sufferings is because we have the power or we have the ability to bear children. But radical cultural feminists, they say, no. Our power, our trump card is the ability to bear children. Suppose one day men find out some technique or a technology, you can say, to produce children without the help of women, then what will happen is that there will be more repression and there will be more suffering. So this is two different views. Anyhow, the whole thing is centered around essentialism. Essentialism is really something that which has done, essentialism sometimes you call the mirror image of biologism. Means biologically you are like that. It's a kind of fixation, so is there. With this idea, this concept, for centuries justified the oppression of women. Proclaiming, and it proclaims the natural superiority of men over women. Essentialism is very, very dangerous. Essentialism is more dangerous than terrorism, I should say. In this, even you consider in the context of feminist thought and feminist movements for liberation. Because it is deep rooted in the mind of man. That man is superior and woman is inferior. Because what is the reason for that? The reason is they have got certain essential qualities, irrespective of culture or irrespective of tradition or irrespective of the environment in which they grew up. Understand? So beware of essentialism. Okay. And then next one is gynocentrics. Fifth one. Gynocentrics. Now this is again, the originator of this is, the proponent of this term is the feminist scholar and critic Elaine Showalter. We have already come across her name, Elaine Showalter. So these are just, I know most of you know these things, but still I just want to remind you this. Elaine Showalter, and she defines this as a constructing a female framework for analysis of women's literature. At present, what has happened? The framework for the model, the framework for analyzing men's literature is used for analyzing women's writings and women's literature. So she says, oh no, that won't work. Because men can never do justice. Models created by men can never do justice to writings of women. So for example, you cannot analyze the writings of Jane Austen or the Bronte sisters or even say Emily Dickinson, the American poets, and our own, many of them, as most famous of them we can see. One of them is very famous, and you know her name, Kamala Das, or later on Kamala Suraiya. Now suppose, or Mahasweta Devi. Now such people writings, suppose you are analyzing with but masculine or male model, then you will miss many things. But on the other hand, if you foreground the characteristics or the experiences of women, and then you look at the works of Jane Austen and so on, then what will happen? Even characters, female characters, as I told you the other day about Bathsheba Abadi. So you look at from a feminine point of view, then you will understand her nature and her character. From a male point of view, if you look, you will sometimes say, oh, she is a woman who has undergone liberation. See, that way they will think. On the other hand, if you see, look at from the point of a male point of view, then you will see that it's not like that, it's something totally different. What the male point of view has said is wrong, because from the female point of view, you have to also look at the emotions and the feelings and the experiences of a woman like Bathsheba managing an estate of her own. That way. If you look at like that, so also Catherine in Wuthering Heights, the experience of Catherine actually, the heart of heart she had, she had, so to say, you can say, an infatuation for Heathcliff, isn't it? She had, but much say, you can say, directly against the wishes of her feelings, or her wishes of her mind and feelings and experiences, she had to marry some another person. So that is same with all. If you see dominant feminine characters, you can see that, isn't it? Justitia White, another character in Thomas Hardy. So these people, if you look at from a feminine point of view, you can understand much better than if you look at from the male point of view. Now this is what the Elaine Showalter says. You should develop a new model of interpretation based on the study of female experience rather than adopt male models and their theories. Understand that? It's very important. Gynocentric criticism or gynocentric models of interpretation of the text, gynocentric models of interpretation of works of literature, whether poem or whether drama or the characters in a novel and so on. Understand? So these are the key terms. We will continue this with these key terms. We will have one more class. I hope that now you understand this. You have been following me. Once again I will see. Androgyny means there is a woman in a man and a man in a woman. So there is no point in strict division of labor or anything. Backlash means it is against, as we have seen, feminism is kind of negative stereotypes. It's called negative stereotype. That means, for example, to take an example, my wife, my sisters and my mother, they all go out for work. I support them. But at the same time, in public I say, no, this is not the correct way. Women should stay at home. They need not go out and work for bread winning, but they should sit at home and they should work for the family, look after the children and so on. So this attitude, this called negative stereotypes, and against this Faludi wrote the book Backlash, the Undeclared War Against American Women. So this happened, it's a strange thing that happened in America, say from 1980s onwards. Okay. Then the third is Écriture Féminine. That is by Helen Sissox. So there it says that there should be, is of course the laugh of the Medusa. Now here she is arguing for, fighting for, so to say, a language that you have to create if you want to express the experience of women. Because the available language is the creation of the patriarchal society. It's meant for writing by men, not by women. So you should give foreground the experiences, and then if possible you create a language of your own. Create a language of your own means expressions and so on. See, that's the meaning. Or you can see, instead of saying that women are submissive, women are tolerant, women are weak, see, instead of that you can find out some other expression, so to say. See, so not say women are not weak, not in that way. They are, you can say, no, women, they have got initiative. See, they are gifted with creative power. Like that you can say. Because so far, what the male-dominated or patriarchal language system, the system of language used by the patriarchal societies, the patriarchal writing model is always using this. Or in a binary, the hierarchical binary, the women always get the second one, not the first one. Strong, weak. So the weak will be applied to women. So that kind of thing should stop. That is what the meaning of. So women's experience is more important than language. That's what écriture, yes, that is what écriture féminine means. So he says, and also another very important thing is that the woman should write herself. Herself means write about her. Then you write herself, must write about women, and also must bring women to writing. That is the crux, or you can see the essence of what she says. Écriture féminine means women should start writing about themselves in a language of their own. Simple. Women should start writing about themselves in a language of their own, using expressions of their own. Yes, if need be, you should coin. And then we have got, that's the fourth one. Fourth is essentialism. Essentialism says that this is a very, what we must say, the age-old belief that the essence of women is equal to submission, then suffering, willingness to suffer, slavish attitude, tolerant to anything and everything, weakness, unable to do certain things, and so on. This should stop. That's what we say. Essentialism says. Because once essentialism takes its root in society, in culture and in traditions, that's the best weapon for men to let loose, unleash their weapons of, or technologies of repression and oppression, leading women to depression. Understand? See, so that is the main point there. And then gynocentric means gynocentric criticism or gynocentric models of interpretation of works of literature written by women. Don't take models of men. Don't take models of interpretation created or framed by men to interpret or explain the writings of women. We must have our own. We means that is women. I am speaking for women. So we must have our own models for interpretation. Otherwise, we will miss the point. Because anyhow, you see, when you look at, I'll give you an example. It is raining. what will be the attitude of a man and what will be the attitude of a woman? Totally different. Isn't it? What will be the attitude you yourself can tell. Like for anything that happens, you will have a different attitude. So, when you read a poem by Kamala Das, or when you read Wuthering Heights, or as I told you, the Far from the Madding Crowd in Bathsheba Wedding's character, although it is written by a man, but the character is a woman. You look at that character through the lens of a woman, and then you will see how different the attitude will be. Same thing has happened with the Shakespeare's plays. So, Caroline Spurgeon, Shakespeare, and Wilson Knight. You compare both, then you will understand. Caroline Spurgeon's Women Characters of Shakespeare, isn't it? It's a famous book. I think it's like that. If I have made a mistake, sorry, but I think so. It is the title is like that. Women Characters of Shakespeare. So that is the way you should approach Shakespeare's plays. Shakespeare, not that he is a woman and he wrote, his writings can be considered as a woman's writing. No. The characters, see that. When you look at characters like, see, Lady Macbeth says, "And sex me here." But when a woman reads it, and she will have the impressions that comes to her mind will be different from the impressions that come to the mind of a man. So this is what we are saying. So gynocentrics are models to be created by women for analyzing women's literature. I think that these 5 points, now it is very clear to you. So once again the points are gyno, we have already said the gyno, androgyny, we have got backlash, écriture feminine, essentialism, and gynocentrics. Gynocentrism, you can say gynocentric or gynocentrism. Okay? Centrics or centrism. I think that these 5 terms are useful to you when you are writing an essay or a short note or something like that. So we will have a few more key terms that we will see tomorrow. Till then, bye. Have a nice time. Enjoy your life.